Hey,
Something I sometimes forget to do. So, welcome everybody. My name is Aviva. I'm joined by my colleague Miriam. We're part of the post Aliyah team. And as opposed to before you made Aliyah, when you had a designated Aliyah advisor, now you have a whole team. So, different members of our team have different specialties, but we all know most of the material pretty well. Uh, Anytime you have a question about anything, you can give us a call at star 3680. We answer Sundays through Thursdays between 9 and 5. And I apologize for saying a lot, as most of you probably are also a little sleep deprived. So I want to make sure the words coming out of my mouth are the right ones that are being sent from my brain. So I apologize if I'm talking a little more slowly than usual. I'm just trying to cope with the situation the best I know how. Um, so I'm sorry. So you can give us a call or you can write to us. I believe Miriam added the information to the chat. You can keep your chat open. Miriam will be adding information, links, and if you have any questions, you can put them into the chat, but we'll also be stopping intermittently for questions. So that you can call us or email us at answers@nbn.org.il. And we're happy to have you join us. Um, I understand most of you have been living in Israel for a while, so this might not be your first rodeo with sirens and stuff. But I just want to ask everyone, how are you doing? Is everyone have the app on their phone? Everybody, I want to make sure everyone knows where to go when there's a siren.
what,
Um,
what?
the the app for sirens, it's either the Pikud HaOref, the home front command site, or there's other ones as well. Um, just to make sure you have at least one. You don't have to do overkill and have more than one that some people have, like everyone on their phone, and every time there's a siren, they hear 42 times where it is, what's going on. So just make sure you have one, so you know that you need to take action and that you know what you need to do. Basically, it's to find the safest place that you can in the time you have. Does everyone here know where they need to go when there is a siren? You can just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Does anybody need help figuring that out? Okay, I can't see everyone's reactions, but if anybody does have questions about where to go or what to do in case of an alarm, or even just needs to talk to somebody about it, because it is, even those of us who have been here for years, and I've been here since the first Gulf War as a kid. Thank God we don't need gas masks this time, but it is stressful. So if any of you have any questions about what to do, where to go, or even a question of who you can talk to, there's no shame. It's normal to be stressed, and you could stay on at the end of the session, or you can just email us or call the hotline, and somebody will help you. Okay, I am going to share my screen. Give me one moment because
While you're sharing your screen, Aviva, I'll just make sure that everybody realizes that I put in the chat, and I'm going to continue to put in the chat, as you mentioned, different links and resources. When you get a copy of the recording, this will come with. But what I put here is a link to a variety of resources that we have, that we've put together since October 7th for you to have access to. And even if you're out and about, even on Waze, you can find out where the closest shelter is. As we all know, sheltering it saves lives and is very important.
yes. Okay, so this is our post-Aliyah guide. I understand that it was not given out a hard copy because different people made Aliyah at different times, different places where our staff may not have been there. This is what it looks like. You will get a recording of the session, and it will also have an attachment You may have received the attachment of the guide when you received the invitation to this meeting. It could also be found online. Miriam, can you put the link to the pretty page?
Yep,
Okay,
doing it now.
thank you. All right, so here we go. So the first page is an Oleg glossary that has some items that you may not have needed to know when you were living in Israel as a tourist or a frequent visitor even. You can go through them, familiarize yourself with them. They're frequently used words and things that you might terms that you'll encounter. Go through them at your own pace. And this way, when somebody says it, you can have a knowing nod instead of just smile and wave and not know what they're talking about. Now that you're officially Israeli, some of the items that you should have received in the Misrad Apnim office. I'm just going to make this a little bigger. I don't know if you can see it, but I cannot. I'm going to go through the items that you should have received. If anyone did not receive one of these items, please put a note in the chat box for Miriam to address because I won't see it. And I'm going to start now. So if you were not an Israeli citizen before making Aliyah, meaning if one of your parents were Israeli or if you were born here and left, if you were not one of those, then you should have an Ole visa in your foreign passport. They would have put in a sticker that said Aliyah visa when you made Aliyah in Misrad Hapnim. And the reason I'm stressing this is because a lot of people don't notice it's there, and you're going to need it to be able to be eligible to receive Misrad HaKlita benefits. So just take a look. It doesn't have to be now. Take a look through your passport. You'll see that it's there. Somebody who was already Israeli will not have this because they already had an Israeli passport when they made Aliyah. Next is a piece of paper called Tamtzit Rishum, and this everyone may have received. It's a summary of your record of how you appear in the registry for Misrad HaPnim. So it'll say your name, your parents' name, your date of birth, etc. Next is an entry and exit form for the past 7 years. Both prior Israelis and brand new Olim would receive this. This will be a list of all the times you were in and out over the last 7 years. If you switched passports in those 7 years, it might not have everything, or it might have from both passports. This paper will be needed at Misrad HaKlita to prove your time abroad. If you had any name change, they may have given you that as well. A temporary Teudat Zehut would have been given to you when you were there. This temporary Teudat Zehut is good for 3 months, and you can use it for 99.9% of anything you would need a Teudat Zehut for. The only thing you might not need it might not be able to use it for is for creating certain government website IDs because you would need your biometric, but there's no rush to create those accounts. You can wait until you receive your biometric. The biometric is the let's say, permanent card that you'll receive. It's smaller than what you have now. It's about the size of a credit card.
Didn't we get that? Didn't they take that at the meeting that we had in last month? When they took our pictures in the Misrad Panim?
Yes, the temporary is the one that they gave you in Misrad Panim, and your biometric is what you ordered, you applied for, and if you made Aliyah a longer time ago, you may have received it, but the people who made Aliyah in the past week would not yet have received their biometric.
Well, wait a minute. They took my picture before I left.
They took your picture and your fingerprints. That is to apply. That is for your biometric. But you did not receive the biometric ID yet. That will come either by courier or you'll pick it up from the post office. I'll get to that in more detail shortly.
Okay.
But right now, unless you made Aliyah several weeks ago, right now you would only have your temporary Teudat Zehut.
Because we did this 1 month ago, we have gotten nothing.
Same here.
There's a war. Everything
I
slows down in a
understand.
war.
It usually could take anywhere between 2 and 6 weeks. So the fact that you made Aliyah a month ago during a war, it doesn't surprise me that you didn't receive it yet. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Some of you may have been given an Ishur Yetziah, which is a document allowing you to travel with using a foreign passport. Right now, it's not necessary because there's a special measure in place that all Israelis can travel on their foreign passports. Some of you may have been given this. I don't want to confuse you, but it's not necessary. So if you don't have it, don't worry. Another page you would have received when you made Aliyah is the personal code and password page. It's basically a confirmation that you applied for a biometric document. Across the top, you have a tracking number that begins with the letters RR and ends with an X. And you can use that tracking number. I'm sorry, if everyone can just please mute themselves while until question time, I appreciate it.
Or you can put your questions if you don't feel that you can wait, you can always put your questions in the chat.
Thank you. You can use your tracking number on the Israel Post website. You can switch it to English and do that. Now, you'll only be able to track where your biometric ID is once it has reached the postal authority. So while it's still at the printing press or before it was even printed, if you try and put in your code, it might just say this does not exist. Don't worry, it's completely normal. And especially as being wartime, we don't know how much longer things might take. But in the best of times, it could be anywhere between 2 and 5 weeks. So just add a little extra wiggle room onto that. On that same page with your tracking number is a 4-digit code. That code you don't need to memorize. You can take a picture of it, or you can save the paper. You will need to give that number to either the courier if you get it delivered by courier, or at the post office when you get to go to pick it up. You will get an SMS shortly before, if it's a courier, shortly before he comes or she comes, or you'll get a SMS saying your package will be going to the post office. It'll tell you which post office, and you'll be able to pick it up there. Once you give them that 4-digit code, it will be automatically activated. You don't need to do any other action to activate your 2.0. Okay. Are there any questions so far on the items that you received? Okay, I'm going ahead to.
Yeah, I have just a small question.
Sure.
If I didn't receive a paper that said like every time I've been in and out of Israel for the past 7 years, but I had one before, I have one, I brought one to it. Is that chill? Like they didn't give me one.
Where did you have the other one from?
First, I don't even know where it was from. I
It
think
was one
I'm
that
pretty
they
sure
printed up for you, or one that you
one that I
wrote
printed
in?
up for myself and filled it out and brought it to the
Okay,
to the meeting.
so that's not it. Be in touch with us afterwards on the side, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. The one you filled out for yourself, the self-declaration, is not good enough for what this would be used for, okay?
Oh yeah, so I didn't
Okay.
get one of those.
All right, so speak to us afterwards or send us an email. Okay, a bank account. So in order to open a bank account, if you made Aliyah with a spouse, both spouses must be present, and you must open a joint bank account in order to receive your Sal Klisat payments together. Some banks recently have been requiring a Tudat Oleh, which you'll only get once you've had your meeting with Misrad HaKlita, which I will get to shortly. If you already have an Israeli bank account as a tourist, you will need to switch it over to an Israeli account. Be in touch with your banker. You can do it over the app or phone, and ask them what they require in order to switch it to an Israeli account. Some branches will tell you just send us the paperwork proving you're Israeli, meaning your 2.zehut and your 2.oleh. And others will require you to come in. So just be in touch with them to find out what their requirements are. If you're opening an account for the first time, um, you'll have time to ask questions about the branch, about different credit card eligibility checks, foreign currency transfer, etc. If you are opening a joint bank account, it is important that you sign a form called Tofes Arichut Yamim. This is pretty much standard nowadays, but you should be especially careful that you have it if you've already had a foreign account and you're switching it to an Israeli account because it wasn't always standard. This basically is a form that gives both spouses control over the account in the event of the passing of one spouse. So to be crude, last man standing is still able to use the bank account. Otherwise, you would need to wait until inheritance was settled by the court. So we just suggest that everyone make sure that they have this in their account. I just want to mention that the booklet is built in a way that it says the name of the, it says the task, like your bank account. They'll give you a little bit about the task that you're doing. And then it'll give you over here, it'll say what you need and what you get. So the night before or the morning before you leave the house to go take care of whichever task it is, just take a look at the what you need to make sure that you're actually bringing what you need with you to do that task. Because there's nothing worse than getting somewhere, realizing you forgot one document and needing to go back a second time, which could sometimes mean that you have to wait for another appointment. Speaking of appointments, many banks nowadays, thanks to COVID, require an appointment in order to open a bank account. So the way to do that is either on their website, or if you're walking past the bank anyway, you could just walk in, say, hi, I just made Aliyah. I want to open an account here. And if there's time, they'll let you go in right away. If not, they'll set you up for an appointment. Very important to bring your Teudat Zehut, your passport from the country of origin, about 20 or 30 shekel or a check to make a deposit into your new account. This is to sort of activate your account. If you tell the banker that you need to activate your account, they'll look at you like you're nuts because it's not for the bank. This is for Misrad HaKlita. Before they start sending you money, they want to make sure that your account information that you gave them is right. So they don't start transferring money to your account and you say, oh, well, I never got it. So this way they'd like to see that you made a deposit went through, and they'll ask you to bring a receipt from that deposit with you when you go to Misrad HaKlita. Back to what you need at the bank. The US citizens will need to have their social security number with them. Not necessarily have to have your card with you, but you need to know your number. Some younger people might not know their number by heart, so just make sure you know that before you go to the bank. You'll need to complete a W-9 form. Some branches will ask to see the physical card because they don't understand it like a Teudat Zehut that you walk around with all the time. If you have it with you, and you're happy, you're willing to show them, that's fine. If you don't have it, you can explain that it's something you keep it safe, that you don't have it. Ask for a manager if they're going to insist on it, or worst comes to worst, you can get up and go to a different bank. I do know people who have used their a tax return that shows their name and their social security number on it, and that was good enough. But not all branches will be that stubborn to ask to see an actual card. When opening your account, I suggest, in addition to bringing those items, you bring a drink, a snack, and a sense of humor, because it could take over an hour to open an account. So keep that in mind. Don't plan or schedule anything for right after your bank appointment, because not only could it take a long time, but you could leave there and just need a nap. What you'll get from them is instructions for online banking, a receipt for that 20 or 30 shekel, whatever deposit. You can deposit much more if you like, but this is the minimum. You'll also get an opening statement with the details of your new account, and that will be brought to Misrad HaKlita so they can put your bank account information into the system and you can start getting paid. Now, when transferring money from abroad, If it's small amounts, there's no issues. At your appointment, just make sure that you have all the information that you need for transferring. Usually you need like an IBAN number.
Also, also for transferring money from abroad, you should probably do it through an app because the fees are just
Okay,
insane.
I'll get to that.
I think.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Check, as I'm going to say, check with your banker how to do so. Find out what the fees are. And also, when transferring over a certain amount of money, because of Israel's strict money laundering laws, they will need some kind of like a kashrut stamp on the money, proving that it's yours and that it didn't come from ill-wanton gains. So check with your bank up to how much money you can transfer without needing that. And that would be either a letter from a bank, letter from a lawyer or an accountant, something like that. As Lev mentioned, sometimes it's more financially better to transfer not directly to the bank and use a third party. But we don't recommend any specific ones. We don't not recommend any, but we don't give specific names. So do your research. Living Financially Smarter is an excellent website. I have a Facebook group for a lot of information about financial issues. It's, again, Living Financially Smarter in Israel. And they also have a website. It's run by Rivka Leibowitz, who's a major finance guru. You can find a lot of information there. 1 second. I'm sorry, my computer is dying. I just need to plug in. Okay. Any questions
Aviva?
about opening a bank account right now?
Aviva, I want to just tell people about our experience, and we found that Bank Leumi has a specific site on their website for new Olim, and they have a whole team of people that walk you through the process. Having gone into another branch before that and gotten a cold shoulder, and we have to wait a week for an appointment, we walked in and we took care of the whole thing in less than 24 hours.
Okay, but I
So
just want to mention that as opposed to in the States, here the banks vary very, very much according to the branch manager. So my Bank Leumi in Modi'in may be 180 degrees different than a Bank Leumi in somewhere else.
They make the arrangements for you with the individual branch that you want to go. So she actually made an appointment for us in the branch for the next day. So this person on the website. So I just would encourage people to look
Okay.
at it as they start the process. We found it to be extremely helpful.
Thank
Also,
you.
they let us
Thank
know
you for
that
that advice.
they also let us know that for the first year you get, I haven't looked at what they are, certain discounts on fees and stuff.
Exactly.
Again, that is branch specific, and it's not by any means a general OLED benefit, and not all
Yeah.
No.
Bank Leumis would even give that same
No,
those
this is
same
a bank.
benefits.
This is a
I-
Bank Leumi policy. This is a whole company. So
And I've had
Nefesh may
Olim
want to
go
look into
to,
it.
I have had Olim
Okay.
go to other branches, and they said that it is not a bank-wide policy.
Oh,
So you got lucky
Well,
that you went to a branch that does do that.
Again, it was taken care of out of this website and a person who presumably works in another office, but she was able to find us a branch that took care of it. So
Okay,
again, I would
thank you.
suggest people take a look at it.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on to healthcare registration. Bituach Leumi is sort of kind of like Social Security, but more. It's the government body responsible for healthcare, pensions, unemployment, maternity leave. I know all those are not relevant to all of you, and certainly not necessarily right now. They also give you your healthcare. In order to be eligible for healthcare, you need to maintain your residency, which means, especially during your first year after Aliyah, doesn't matter how long you've been here till now, but especially during your first year after Aliyah, you need to spend the lion's share of the year. Doesn't mean 50%. It doesn't mean any specific number, but most of the year. Plus, show that Israel is your center of life. They want to see that you're going abroad to visit and not vice versa. So while there's no magic number, certain things like owning a home, having a job, having kids in school, gym membership, all those things show that Israel is your center of life. If you plan on traveling a lot after Aliyah, please be in touch with our office to discuss how you can best maintain your residency. And if that's not doable right now, to discuss your other options. To start, if you were already living here as an A1, as a long-term student visa or a work visa, you may have already been eligible for health insurance through the government. If you were here as a tourist or as a short-term student and you were paying for your university for health insurance, or you were paying for private health insurance, you were probably not eligible for government health insurance. So for those of you who have never been registered with Bituach Leumi for healthcare before, you will register for Kupat Cholim, which is your health insurance, via an email to the address is mirsham@nioi.gov.il, and it's on this page from the healthcare registration. It's here. It's in a blue line, and I believe Miriam is putting it into the chat as well. So you're going to send them an email. In the subject line, you include your Tu'udat Zehut number and your name. Now that you have a Tu'udat Zehut number, I recommend that you memorize it because that is very often more important than your name, especially with government offices. They'll ask you your Tu'udat Zehut number before they ask you your name. And it's not a secret number. It's not something private like a social security number. You'll need your Tu'udat Zehut number when going to the supermarket, especially if you're buying alcohol, to put in so they see you're above a certain age sometimes. You'll need your Tu'udat Zehut number for ordering food, for logging into websites, for anything. It's not something that you have to keep secret, so you don't have to be worried about sharing your Tu'udat Zehut number. Anyways, you're going to put it in the subject line, and then in the body of the email, your name, phone number, Tu'udat Zehut number again, city you're living in, the choice of healthcare provider. All that should be in the, and your Aliyah date, I believe they'd like to see as well. You should do that within about a week or 10 days after making Aliyah, but certainly before you reach a month and a half. Sorry, not month and a half, 90 days. You should send them that email telling all that information, which Kupat Cholim you want to join. You will get an email back from them saying you're now registered for whichever one you chose. You'll then go to the branch near your home with your Tu'udat Zehut and register for Kupat Cholim. You'll need to go to the administrative secretary. You don't need to make an appointment, but you might need to take a number from the machine when you get there. You'll show her your Tu'udat Zehut. You tell her you just made Aliyah, and you are eligible as an Oleh for, for 6 months of free basic healthcare. Basic healthcare is provided by Bituach Leumi, like I mentioned. And if you're unemployed, it is at no cost to you for the first 6 months. If you are working, the fee for that the health tax will be taken out of your salary automatically. If you would like to register for a higher tier health plan, each health fund has 3. You should come back after you've received your Tu'udat Oleh. The reason for that is if I wanted to now go and sign up for a higher level or higher tier plan, I would have a waiting period of several months to 2 years, depending on the service, until I'm eligible for those higher tier services. The basic services are automatic for everyone at the basic level. But if I wanted to get my kid braces, I would have a waiting period during which I would have to pay into the system a certain number of months until I'm eligible. As an Oleh, you do not have a waiting period. That's one of the Aliyah benefits, that you don't have a waiting period and you can start off with the highest level services as soon as you register for the higher level services. However, you will need your Tu'udat Oleh in order to be able to sign up for that with that benefit. So my recommendation is get your card for your basic healthcare, just so you're covered and you have it, because you don't want to have to wake up really sick as a dog one morning and first have to go get your card and worry about the paperwork. Get your card, discuss with them what to do in an emergency. In Israel, you cannot just walk into however you get there, you can't just go into an emergency room without a referral from your doctor or pre-authorization from your health fund. There are different urgent healthcare places. Some of the Kupot Cholim have their own. So you need to ask at this appointment, what should I do in an emergency? Certain things are covered. Let's say if you break a bone, if you have stitches, those are covered. If it is life or death, if you, God forbid, got hit by a car and your arm is across the street, don't worry about the paperwork. You'll probably be covered because you'll be fine. But for something not as crazy like that, if it's life or death, go to the hospital, call an ambulance, worry about the paperwork later. However, if you cut your finger and you think you might need 1 or 2 stitches, but you're not sure, if you stubbed your toe and you think it might be broken, if it's not broken, and if you don't get stitches and they don't admit you, then you will need to pay the emergency room fee and or an ambulance fee. So again, if it's life or death or urgent, if it's a 65-year-old overweight man or woman who is having chest pains, definitely don't go to the hospital first. But again, if you have a cold or you think you have the flu, that's not to go to the emergency room. You can call your doctor or your healthcare fund to get a referral. If they think it's necessary, they'll give you one.
Aviva, can I just add 2 things? Sorry.
Sure.
Unless you weren't done.
Go ahead. They'll give me a chance to jump.
I just want to add that navigating the healthcare system in Israel is very different than the US healthcare system and still somewhat different than the Canadian healthcare system. We have every month a spotlighted post-Aliyah event to which you'll get an invitation to. Every month we have something different. This month is on Ulpan. We've had on the do's and don'ts of navigating the healthcare system. We've had on banking, we've had on travel documents, lots of different things. But when it comes to the healthcare system, there's a lot to learn, and you may find yourself more frustrated than it's necessary to be. So I would like to invite you either to have a look at the library that we have on YouTube of the different healthcare webinars that we offer, or give us a call so that on a more one-on-one basis, we can hear your questions and help you navigate, whether it's the app or the website to make appointments and so forth. And Aviva mentioned about getting a referral before going to an emergency room. All Kupot Cholim, which Aviva is going to mention later, have a call center, which if you're not sure, you woke up with high fever, you're not sure what you should do, there's a call center 24/7 where you can speak to a nurse who may refer you to the doctor, who may answer the question on her own.
Thank you, Miriam. I would also like to recommend making a well doctor visit before you get sick. Don't wait until you can barely get out of bed to go to the doctor. And this is for several reasons. First of all, you go to the doctor when you're feeling well, you can see, do I like this doctor? Do I hate this doctor? Do I want to try somebody else? Once you choose a doctor, you're not stuck with them forever. You can change doctors, but go see if you like the doctor. Give them your medical history when you're feeling up to talking and giving them the information. In addition, once you've seen your doctor, you can ask them for refills for medication that you've already have in the system, or over on your Kupat Cholim app. You don't have to make an appointment to go in. You can also schedule a phone appointment, which you cannot do for a doctor that you've never seen before. So also, if you haven't seen your doctor in the last, Miriam, is it 6 months or a year that you have to see them in order to have a phone appointment? Do you remember the cutoff?
I don't know that information by heart, so I don't want to say.
Okay. maybe it's specific doctors that have that rule or not. I'm not sure, but I know that my son tried to make an appointment after a long time not being the doctor, and they
I believe it's
wouldn't
a
let
year.
him come in. It is a year?
I believe it's a year.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, so go to the doctor before you're sick. Make sure you know how to contact them. They have your medical history. If you already had Bituach Leumi through a work visa, long-term student visa or A1, then you will go if it was constant, like if you had it till now, go into your kupa and just update them with your Teudat Zehut and make sure it should switch automatically. And just make sure that it did. If you've been praying privately for a provider, once you have your Kupat Cholim set up, you can cancel the old one. You might want to request your medical history. Let's say you had Maccabi as a private student, as a tourist or a student, and you're staying with Maccabi. Just check with them to make sure that your medical records will also switch to that Zehut number records. If you are have previous Israeli history, meaning you are a Katin Choser, a returning minor, or if Ezra Choleh, that one of your parents were Israeli, then you will register for Kupat Cholim at Misrad HaKlita. Miriam, did I miss anything?
You're good.
Okay. Any questions about healthcare? Okay, I'm moving on to.
Can I ask a question about healthcare?
Yes.
How do I have someone, if I make an appointment at one of the places, and how do I make how does a doctor become my family doctor? Can I be like, I made an appointment with you, but I want someone else to be my family doctor, or is it
Yeah, you
automatic?
can make an appointment with a doctor if you like that doctor and you want to stick with them. Either you can choose to apply him or her as your family doctor on the app or the website, or you can ask him or her, trying to be very
All good.
you can ask the doctor to set himself or herself as your doctor, and then they'll
Okay.
appear as your doctor in the system.
Okay, and I had another question. I know that it's ideal first, to set up a regular plan, and then because of all the benefits, also if I wanted to do something more special to do that once I have my Teudat Oleh. But if I, let's say, in that time frame want to go get some dental work done or something, how would I do that? Would I just pay out of
You're
pocket?
talking about in
I just wrote it in the chat. You had
Oh,
asked,
okay.
okay, so
Right.
that once you are part of the Kupat Cholim system, you can then sign up for either of the supplemental plans, and then you would have access to the dental clinic of that Kupat Cholim.
Oh, okay. But the supplement, to sign up for the supplemental plans, I can do that automatically, when I sign up for everything, or do I need to wait for my Teudat Oleh?
When you will get an answer back from the email address, the Mershambi email address, and they will say in the email, typically, the next day you can already go to the Kupat Cholim. Remember, right now during the war, there are many clinics that have alternate hours. They might not have the regular hours. And you say, hi, I just made Aliyah, and you'll show your temporary Teudat Zehut, and that is when you'll say, I would also like to be part of whatever supplemental plan you would like to be part of. They will ask for payment information.
But Miriam, they need the Teudat Oleh to not have the waiting period.
You can tell them, having just done this with an Ola Chadasha, you
Okay.
can tell them that you are an Ola Chadash, and they should also see that in the system. If they insist on seeing your Teudat Oleh, then you can always go back as long as it's within 90 days, which it certainly should be, and then you can sign up. But I would tell you to try to sign up first, even without it. Aviva is correct, but having just done this with an Ola Chadasha, I would try to just do it without.
I
Um,
Good
understand.
to know. Thanks.
okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just one more question. Can I go down to any place as long as it's one of the fields of like that I signed up for? Like if I sign up for Maccabi, can I just find like Maccabi near me and just go down there? Like after
Typically.
obviously I
Just
get the confirmation.
as long as there's an administrative secretary. Some of that
Mm-hmm.
times there's like a bunch of doctor's offices and they'll only have the
Ah,
doctor's secretary who can make you appointments and stuff like that, but she won't be able to register you. So you need the
okay.
administrative branch office.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Moving along to Misrad Aliyah Klita. The Misrad Klita for short, is the gatekeeper of your benefits. This is what most of you have been waiting for, how to get your benefits. Once you've been in Israel for more than 24 months, your benefits that you're entitled to start to fall off. Once you've been in Israel more than 5 years before your Aliyah date, there are much fewer benefits that you are eligible for. I don't know how long each of you have been here, that you are aware yourself. Everyone should still go ahead and do the process with Misrad Klita, because even if you were here 20 years before making Aliyah, there are still some benefits that you may be entitled to. So to set up an appointment with them, you need to first fill in the online eligibility form. And it's in the booklet. It's in the links in blue, and I'm betting that Miriam is putting it into the chat if she hasn't already. This form, you'll need to upload some of the documents that you went to Misrad Pnim with when you made Aliyah, and some of the documents that you received when you went to Misrad Pnim. So in addition, you'll also upload a picture of yourself. It's very self-explanatory. It tells you what you need to upload. One of the first questions in this form is, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. So this form is so that your benefits booklet can be issued for your appointment. So you're going to fill out this form, and it could take up to 3 weeks in usual time. Now we're in the war and not all branches are open. I am not sure exactly how it's working. I've heard some Olim who've had phone appointments and did not yet have a physical appointment. You'll play it by ear, you'll see what they'll tell you. So many of you will receive a Tudat Oleh. That's the benefits booklet. A Tudat Zakaut is basically the same thing, but it's the name for the booklet if you were already an Israeli citizen before making Aliyah, meaning, and if your parents were Israeli or if you were born in Israel. Again, a reminder, if everyone could please mute themselves. I'm sorry, I'm just very distractible, especially with the situation. Okay, so if you were already Israeli before making Aliyah, you'll receive a Tudat Zakaut, which is basically the same thing. It just has a different name. It's slightly different. When you fill out the form, some of the questions they're going to be asking you are regarding the amount of time you were in Israel before making Aliyah, because as I mentioned, that could affect your benefits. If you were in the Army or Sherut Leumi or a Masa sponsored program, your timeline is frozen during that time. So just make sure you have the relevant proof that you'll upload to the form. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when filling out this form is they miss the part that one of the questions at the beginning is, did you receive an Aliyah visa in your foreign passport? A lot of people say no. And that was why at the very beginning of this session, I really stressed that you should have received an Aliyah visa in your foreign passport if you were not already Israeli from birth. Okay, so just make sure that you tick yes for that, because if you write no, you'll then be prompted to upload your Israeli passport, which of course you do not have yet. Okay. There's a list of the Aliyah benefits further on in the booklet, or you'll see it on the website. And you should go through these different benefits before your appointment, which, as I said, they'll call you to either do over the phone or come in. go over these benefits before your appointment so you can make sure to discuss with them whichever are specifically relevant to you, whether it's OPON or higher education, etc. The items you'll need are your Teudat Zehut, your foreign passport, the entry and exit form that you received at Misrad Apnim, your bank account information, and proof of living abroad could be also your exit and entrance form, or if you have report cards, jobs, proof of your job there, different things. But usually the exits and entrance forms is sufficient. If they, excuse me, sorry. If they need anything else, they will send you an email or call you to ask before continuing to process your form. So again, you will receive either the Teudat Olet or the Teudat Zachot, depending on your history. If you are living in Israel for more than 5 years, not including Army, Shirut Leumi, or university or Masa program, then you are not eligible for a Teudat Olet, but you will get a letter of eligibility, which is still proof of your Aliyah date, just that you're not eligible for all of the benefits. But again, there
Sorry,
are
excuse me.
some you are eligible for.
I didn't totally hear you there. If you are in the army, then you're not eligible, or if you are in the army, you are eligible.
It freezes when you're in the army. I said if you were in
Oh,
Israel for more than 5 years,
oh, okay. Thank you.
not counting army time. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. At the meeting, you'll give them your bank account details and they'll let you know how much you'll be getting each month if you're eligible and about what date each month you'll be seeing it in your account. You'll discuss the different OLED benefits, OLED programs. They'll open up a customs file for you. So if you are going to be sending in a lift or buying a car, it'll be set up for you in the tax system. Any questions about any of the benefits should be asked then.
Aviva, do you
And
want to just skip ahead to the page that they will see that talks about the table of benefits? We have that in the booklet,
you mean the previous?
previous days.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry.
And I had put before in the
Well, here's the page
chat.
of all the different benefits. This one you're talking about, Miriam? Guide to benefits affected by previous days?
Yeah, also I had put it in before and I'm going to put in again for our Chayalim or soon to be Chayalim, those benefits that are frozen when you're in the army, they are paused. However, you can't decide, please freeze this, please freeze that. It's done through the Misrad Klita, and you have very little say in what can be frozen or what isn't frozen. But you'll see, for example, your Sal Klita, if you're eligible, that runs straight through. Other benefits like an Arnona discount isn't something that you need because the Army is providing your shelter for you. And other things that freeze, such as getting your driver's license or other things. So I've
Yeah,
put the link there before.
so they're all frozen
They're not
while you're
all
in the
Not
army.
everything is
They're
frozen.
not all frozen, so I put this link in so you can see very specifically what is or isn't. Sal
Oh,
Pitat,
okay.
for
So
example, is not frozen.
sorry, Salklita? Okay. All right,
And
thank you.
it unfreezes automatically when you are done with the army. And it's with like if you decide to do Keva or Miluim, it doesn't continue to be frozen. So it's just for
Oh,
your
okay.
main army. Okay. So
All right,
this
perfect.
chart shows the different benefits on one side, and then it says if you spent more than 24 months in Israel, more than 3 years in the last 7 years, or more than 5 years in the last 7 years. It's the different benefits that drop off. Okay. So move back up. Any questions while I'm finding the page again? Okay.
I put in the email address for our Lone Soldier Department in case it's relevant for anyone.
Thank you very much.
I would like to add something. That form that you sent to Misrad HaKlita is a very bad form, very difficult to read. There are a lot of questions which are difficult to know what to do. And we were very poorly prepared by Nefesh Benefesh, who just told us to just get on that site and fill the form. Well, there
So
are a
we're
lot of
happy to help you
documents-
fill it out. I fill it out
Yeah,
at least
anyone
once
who
a
has a
week,
problem
people.
should just be in touch.
There are a lot of documents that they request that you should have on hand before you even get into that form.
Correct.
Exactly something that we were told. And then in addition to that, you do it, if there is any problem, it disappears, it does not save. It's a real nightmare. I'm sorry.
Well, we're preparing you now, and that's the reason that we are having this meeting. And when it's not wartime, we have representatives who speak to the Olim at Misrad Pnim when making Aliyah. We're not going to go through, of course, every single question, but I, did mention about the documents that you will be needing for it. And if anyone has any trouble with it, we are constantly helping people with it. There's nothing we can do to change the form or the need to fill out the form and upload the items, but we certainly can help you do it if you're having an issue. Okay. What did I need? Does anybody in this meeting have children under the age of 18? Okay, I'm going to assume not and move ahead. Driver's license conversion. You can convert your driver's license for up to 5 years from your Aliyah date. And this is a clean conversion. You don't have to surrender your American or Canadian driver's license. If you have 5 years, you can do it for 5 years, but however, you can only drive on a foreign driver's license up to 1 year from when you entered Israel. So if you entered Israel 6 months ago, then your timeline starts 6 months ago. If you entered Israel over a year ago and you were not abroad for 6 months consecutively since then that was when your timeline started, and you may already not be legally allowed to drive. So please pay attention to that timeline. It's very important. It's not just that if you get caught, you'll get pulled over and given a ticket for a few hundred shekel. It's that you cannot be insured, even if you're paying insurance. It's actually that you cannot be insured. And if, God forbid, have an accident, life, limb, property, you would be needing to pay for everything. So not that anyone should, God forbid, have any accidents one way or the other, but please just pay attention to this timeline and make sure you convert your driver's license or not drive when you're no longer allowed to. It's a 3-stage process. Our website goes through it in detail very quickly. The first step is to fill out an online form. It includes medical questions. So if you answer yes to any of the medical questions, stop, don't submit the form. You will need a letter from your Israeli doctor. A letter from your doctor from abroad is not going to help you here. You need to go to your doctor and say, hey, I'm filling out the driver's license application form. I have medical condition ABC. I'm taking medicine 1, 2, 3. Please give me a letter. And the doctor will give you a letter saying, Mr. Joe has ABC, taking medications 1, 2, 3. And if they're comfortable adding a line saying this, and if it's true, obviously, they can write, none of these affect driving ability. Obviously, if you're taking sleeping pills during the day, your doctor might not want to sign off on such a letter. But if it's just something like for high blood pressure, allergies, ADHD, they usually will. You'll come back to the form, upload the letter to the form, and wait for them to give you the okay to go to the next step. Step 2 is to go to a participating optician to get your eyes tested and a photo taken. It's very important you don't go ahead and do this step before they give you the okay, because the optician is going to upload the results directly to your file with the DMV, Misrad Rishui. If your file is not open yet meaning they sent out that letter saying you can go get it done. Your eye test and your photo might get lost in cyberspace and you'll just have to go do it again. Once you do that, you will get an automated message saying, okay, go ahead and make an appointment for the written test. If you've had a license for more than 2 years, and you have to be able to prove that you had the license for 2 years, it's not the honor system. If you had your license for more than 2 years, not including your learner's permit, you do not need to take the written test. So you can just ignore this message if it's not relevant for you. If you do need to take the test, if you had your license for less than 2 years before you made your Aliyah date, it's very important that you look at that. It's how long you had your license before you made Aliyah, not how long you had your license before you went to convert it. If you do need to take the test, it'll give you a prompt how to sign up to take the written test. So assuming you don't need to take that written test, next step for you is to make an appointment for the DMV to come show your documents. At this point, they don't know that you already had a license. So you're going to make an appointment at the govisit.gov.il website. You're going to choose Ministry of Transportation, and you'll choose driver's license conversion for new immigrants. At that appointment, you're going to bring your Tu'udat Zehut, your Tu'udat Ole or Zakaut. You're going to bring your current driver's license, and you're going to bring proof of 5 years or 4 years, whatever you have, proof of driving. This could be either with, if you're lucky enough to have your previous driver's license or the card you have currently covers that whole period, you're golden. That's great. If you don't have either, you might have maybe once upon a time sent an email with an attachment of your previous driver's license to a car rental company, maybe an insurance company. Many of the branches will take a photo. Barring that, you can apply for most states, and I believe also in provinces, you can apply online for a driver's history report and have it sent to you by email. And that is what you will use to prove driver's license history. They're not looking to see if you got a ticket. They're looking to just see continuity of a driver's license for the entire period that you need to have had it.
So,
So
excuse
if
me?
I had a driver's license in 1980 from Israel, an Israeli license, I don't have it anymore, and it obviously lapsed. Would that be good enough? Or they wouldn't even have a record of that.
1980, if it just lapsed a couple of years, I would say you might just be able to renew it. But 1980, that's a long time. What do you think, Miriam?
I
It's just
think
easier
that
to convert the American or Canadian license?
How were you here in 1980? Were you a student? Were you on an A1 visa? How were you here?
A1.
And you had then an 89 number for your driver's license, and you had a Mispar Zehut.
No.
So it's possible that they may see you in the system, but more probable that it was so long ago that, as Aviva said, you would just need to go through the process, which I will take a leap of faith in that you've had a continuous driver's license since then.
Well, continuous from the United States, but
Yes.
not from
Right,
Israel.
right. Yeah, exactly. That's what we mean.
Um,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't totally catch about the driver's license. If I've had my driver's license only for about 4 years,
Right,
um,
right.
like maybe three and a
Yeah,
half years, will I be able to transfer it to an
yeah.
Israeli
So
license still?
I'm going to get to that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I just wanted to
Thank
make
you.
sure the part with the proof was clear.
Perfect. Thank
Um,
you.
okay. So at this appointment, you're going to bring those items. And if you've had your license for more than 5 years, they're just going to do a clean conversion. You'll get a paper temporary license, which after you pay for it, you can pay online. It will be valid. If you've had a license for less than 5 years, you'll need to take a road test. It's in order to take a road test. First of all, they'll need to put into the system that you don't need to take the written test or the minimum of 28 lessons that somebody getting a brand new license needs to take. And You will, at that appointment, they'll put that into the system, and you will need to find a driving school or driving teacher, take at least one driving class. And the reason is because the driving teachers are given a monthly number. I don't know exactly how many. They're given X a number of tests every month. And they don't want to waste a test on somebody who they've never seen drive and they don't know if they'll be able to pass the test. So you'll need to take at least one driving lesson before the driving teacher or driving school will give you a test to take. If
Is there, I have some friends who went to the like
Yep.
this day for like a
are
Yom
you a
Sidurim
sol
day.
are you a soldier now?
Yeah.
So we don't have the date for the next one. Last year, I think it was in November.
Yeah, yeah. It was in November last year.
If you want to wait until our next one, if you'll still be in the army, you're welcome to come to that. But
Because that's like seems like a
hasn't been
much easier
scheduled yet.
way to get it.
Of course. It's, it's specifically for lone soldiers. The Army organizes it together with Nefesh B'Nefesh and our Lone Soldier program. And that is definitely the best option, but it wouldn't we don't have a date for it. If you want to wait till the next one, that's great. Be in
Yeah,
touch
definitely. That's
with
probably
the
what I'll
Lone
do.
Soldier program. Just keep in mind that how much time you're here, if you're allowed to drive or not.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
You're only
Like how
allowed to
much time?
drive for up to 1 year from when you came into Israel on your foreign driver's license.
Oh, on my foreign license, but on my
So if
Israeli
you're
license, I've been
not
allowed to drive
planning on
whenever.
changing it till potentially November, just make sure that you
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
attention to
Yeah, I
this.
understand.
Okay?
Thank you.
Sure. Um, Miriam, did I miss anything? I got a little distracted. Miss anything with driver's license? I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I just want to reiterate that everything that's being said here can be found on the link that I sent. I'll send it again about finding this online with the different steps. Now, someone said the link was sent, but it was very complicated or it was very confusing. Again, we invite everyone to call us 9 to 5, Sunday through Thursday. You need help filling out a form. Something's not clear. You're not sure of something. Please don't hesitate to talk. I'm also just going to take a commercial break, Aviva, if it's okay, to discuss the other different services that we offer post Aliyah. For example, Tel Aviv is on hold right now due to the war, but we still have going on in Jerusalem our translation station day, which in Jerusalem is on Tuesdays. It was going on in Tel Aviv, but we had to stop. That you can reserve a spot. It's a 45-minute spot. If you need a double spot, then you can reserve a double spot. On understanding your bank statement, on understanding your bills that you got, on how to navigate your healthcare app or your healthcare website, on filling out forms, whatever it may be. That is one service that we have. We also have volunteers throughout the country who can help with a variety of things. We also have something called a regional coordinator program. And if you have been here for less than 2 years, you will soon be getting a call from your regional coordinator to say, hi, I understand that you've been here for less than 2 years and you just changed your status, and they will be calling you for 12 months' time. You may ask, why is it less than 2 years and not more than 2 years? And that's because we hope that if you've been here for more than 2 years' time before changing your status, that you are fairly set and you understand, you have your job or you're in the army or you're doing what you're doing. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give us a call. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't give us a call to say, you know what, I heard of you talk about Arnona. I know that I'm eligible for that benefit. I just need help with the website, or I was told something else, or I was told that I'm a senior and I can get a discount. How come I can't seem to get this discount? Or I was told this and now I can't do that. We can't encourage you and invite you enough to please give us a call. And although there is a war going on, you see that Aviva's working from home. I'm working from home today. We also take turns coming into the Jerusalem office. and so we are available.
And if you do
Commercial
have
over.
an issue, it's best that you reach out to us while it's the little issue instead of waiting till it grows. And not that we can't help, it's just always easier and less stressful for everyone involved when we catch it nip it in the bud. How are we doing for time? We're a little bit on the running out of time. I'll go quickly through Arnona. Arnona is the municipal tax in Israel. It's the person who's actually living in the property who pays it, not just the homeowner. Olim and Ezrachim Olim are eligible for a Arnona discount during the first 24 months of their Aliyah. It's good for 12 months on the first 100 square meter of your apartment. So if you have above 100 meters, from the 100.0001, you'll be paying full price, but for the first 100 meters, you'll be getting a discount. To apply for the discount, the Arnona bill needs to be on your name. And once it's on your name, you can request the discount by sending them a copy of your Tudat Oleh, them being your municipality. Each municipality gets to decide the amount of their discount. For example, in Tel Aviv, it's 50%. In Jerusalem and Beit Shemesh, it's 90%. And in some cities, they don't offer any discount. To register and to put your name on the Arnona bill, most municipalities have it very clearly on their website in Hebrew. I believe Tel Aviv and Jerusalem do have it in English, but other cities, it's in Hebrew. If you have a friend or a relative who can help you, great. If not, as Miriam said, give us a call and we can help you. If it's not us or a Bnot Shirut, we can have a volunteer help you with the website and do it over the phone.
I also added, Aviva, in the chat, the link for municipal coordinators throughout the country. A municipal coordinator is someone who is a liaison through the city in which you're living, who also can help with city municipal oriented things, whether you want to know more about Ulpan, whether you want to know more about Arnona, and so forth.
And if anyone has kids in school or gone, or when you do in their first year, they are helpful with that as well. In some municipalities, just note that the OLA discount doesn't cover over to the following calendar year, and you might need to request it again after January 1st. Any questions about the Arnona?
I have some questions. The first question is it something that like when you pay for it, how does it work? Is it automatically just taken out from your bank account, or are you depositing money?
You can set up an auto pay. Most bills in Israel, you can set up auto payment.
Okay. And also, if I know, let's say, that I'm probably going to move in 3 months, is there anything I can do, or do I just apply now for the city I'm living and then in 3 months apply?
It's much easier if you wait if you're moving in 3 months, wait, and you have it. It's good for any 12-month period during the first 24 months of your Aliyah.
Oh, like the discount, you mean? So to wait for the discount, because it's like not transferable from city to city, or maybe not worth it.
Well, it's easier to wait. It is transferable, but if you're moving in only 3 months, it's not worth going through the bureaucracy twice.
Okay, but like, how would I be paying right now for wherever I'm living? Like, how would it work until then?
Well, do you have a lease?
No, I'm like renting, so I guess
a lease means a rental contract.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay, so you know what? I don't want to just keep everyone else on for this. Talk to us afterwards at the end. Okay. All right.
Aviva, I'm so sorry. I'm giving the 5-minute warning. I had to go at 4:15.
Okay. Israeli passport. When you first make Aliyah, you are not eligible for an Israeli passport. You are eligible for a Tu'udat Ma'avar, which is also called a laissez-passer, if I said that correctly, or a travel document. You can apply for that once you've hit your 90 days from your Aliyah date. This is a document similar to a passport. Not every country takes it, and you will not be able to use it to enter your home country, your original country. If you're from the US, you'll need your US passport, Canadian passport, and so on. It's good for 5 years, and its main use is to enter and exit Israel. Right now, there's a temporary measure allowing all Israelis to enter and exit Israel with a foreign passport, together with a Teudat Zehut, or you can apply for this, as I said, after 90 days. If you're not traveling and you don't plan on traveling, there's no rush to apply for it. Once you hit the 1 year mark from your Aliyah date, as long as you've been in Israel for a minimum of 60% of the year, you can apply for an Israeli passport. If you'll be traveling before you have an Israeli travel document, please be in touch with us and we'll just walk you through the extra measures just to keep everything clear. You can read it on our website or give us a call. When leaving the country during your first year after Aliyah, if you are leaving for more than a month, or even if it's less than a month, recently had somebody who was leaving for 2 weeks every month. So half a month out of every month. But he said, but it wasn't a month. So that counts also as leaving for a longer time. You should notify Bituach Leumi. Remember, we discussed the residency requirements to notify Bituach Leumi of your travel. If they'll know you're leaving, but they don't know that you're planning on coming back. So if you're leaving for a month, let's say for Pesach, and it'll take a month till you get back, just notify them. It's on our website. You can Google NBN, notify Bituach Leumi of travel. In fact, anything you need to know, you can call us. So write to us, of course. You could also Google as your friend, NBN, put in the subject, and it'll bring you to our page on our website about that. Notify
Also,
Bituach Leumi.
Aviva, if you just scroll down a little bit, they'll see in red where this is listed on that page. Just so
Okay.
that they have,
Thanks.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, so it's important to do this if you're planning on keeping your residency and planning on coming back in 5 weeks or 6 weeks. It's important to do this because you could technically potentially lose your residency. With that, you would also lose your Kupat Cholim, your healthcare. Sending this letter and notifying them is not a guarantee that they're not going to cancel your residency. If you're going to leave for 6 months, you will lose your residency, and even sending that letter won't help. However, if you leave for, let's say, 6 weeks and you lost your residency, having sent this letter may more easily get you to get your residency reinstated. If you do lose your residency, it's not the end of the world. The main concern is losing health insurance. And as long as you have health insurance that can cover you while you're here, while you're straightening it out, that's keeps you safe. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to us and we'll talk you through it. Here's the page on the OLA benefits. Miriam, can you say a word about the emergency? Do you have time before you get off?
Yeah. So I put in the beginning of the chat, I'll put it in again. We have a page on emergency resources, and this page can be particularly helpful during these times of any kind of security situation. This particular page, these 2 pages have been written for you. You see it's perforated. You can cut it out if you wanted to. And it is to provide you with first responders, whether it is police, fire, something healthcare related, you should never know. All first responders are connected with each other. So if you were calling Ichud Hatzala, United Hatzala, don't be surprised if you see Magen David Adom coming as well. Know where to turn in an emergency, because it's not something that you can begin to look up or plan for once you're in that emergency. There's also first responders. If you've rented a car or you own your car and you're driving and you get a flat tire or something happens, on who to call, who will come and help you with that particular situation. As I mentioned earlier, all Kupot Cholim have a call center number, and you see very nicely it says call this number for English. And that's nice. And the first blurb that you'll get on the menu will be in English, and that may be the end of how you hear and when you hear English when you call said number. And that's very frustrating. And all of our contacts at the Kupot Cholim know it's frustrating. It also will be the same if you are a French speaker, a Spanish speaker, maybe not a Russian speaker, an Arabic speaker, or an Amharic speaker. But we do know that it's frustrating. Still, you can get your point across. And if you wanted to practice, maybe that's something you would want to do. For example, know which numbers to click and which numbers to press if you wanted to get to that nurse because you did have a healthcare concern in the middle of the night. And so you can understand you're going to call and then you're going to press this number and that number and that number, and you can make yourself a little note. So God forbid, should you be in the situation, you already know where to turn. Aviva already mentioned about how to access urgent care through your Coupa. We strongly recommend that when you go to get that medical card, ask those questions such as, if I have an emergency or I need to see a doctor in the middle of the day when my clinic is closed or after hours, after 6 p.m., 7 p.m., what should I do? Have the Coupa be accountable for how they want to direct you. Many Kupot Cholim will have an urgent care center within the Coupa itself, and some will just direct you to something like Terem, which is an urgent care center in Jerusalem. Aviva also spoke about the smart way to use an ambulance service and going to the emergency room. If you scroll down a little bit, here you have information on the Pikud HaOref. The Home Front Command is the national address for all directives during time of war, whether something's going to be open or closed, how much time you have to get to shelter, whether that shelter is in your home or you have to get to a public shelter. There are many, many resources that are floating about due to the war, and make yourself available to them. Whether it's, you're taking a walk and you need to find a shelter, whether you are alone and you're not feeling safe and what to do. I put some of them already in this chat today. And, war can be stressful, and sometimes just the change of status. You've all lived here, but the change of status can be stressful. And know where to turn. Don't hide under the covers. There is so much support in this country, and your first address might not be the support that works for you. You might need a different avenue. We are really, something that we pride ourselves on in our department is to be that Shatchan, is to be the person who can connect you with the resources that you're looking for. One very good resource that's listed here, and then I have to go, is SHIEL. SHIEL is a consumer protection agency, so to speak, through your municipality, that let's say you go and you order the washing machine, and it's a beautiful washing machine, but in the back is a big black gash, and you don't want that washing machine. And, Itzik, the delivery guy, says, so sorry, this is what it is. I can't help you. And you call the store and they're like, no, machpat, you don't see it. It's in the back. What do you care? And you do care because you spent all that money for your washing machine. And SHIEL is a free service through the municipality that can help you advocate for what it is that you need. Really, please don't hesitate to call us. The pre-Aliyah department has their one person, as Aviva mentioned, that was your pre-Aliyah advisor. The reason we're a whole team is because if somebody is out on vacation, somebody's out sick, somebody's traveling, and they're not available, you always have someone from our department to turn to. And while we all have our more specific specialties, it doesn't mean that we can't all also be a first tier of information. And before you end up speaking to, let's say, Aviva, one of her specialties is on car purchase or on meches. One of mine is bituach leumi and healthcare, and on for the different specialties that we have. And with that, I apologize. I need
Thank
to
you
go.
so much, Miriam. I'm
My
staying on, don't
pleasure.
worry. Thank you.
Aviva, thank you. And
Be
I thank
safe.
everybody, and Mazal Tov on your Aliyah, whether you got here a year ago when you made Aliyah, a month ago when you made Aliyah, or 40 years ago when you made Aliyah, Mazal Tov. Everything is going to be sent to you, Mr. Hillman, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. Have a Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam.
Shabbat shalom.
Okay, we're almost
Shabbat
done.
shalom.
Thank you for your patience. Almost done. I just wanted to go over the different departments we have. We're the Post Aliyah and Government Advocacy Department. We have an employment department with a job board. It's NBN job board. If you have a need to speak to an employment counselor, the address is employment@nbn.org.il. I'm sorry, I can't manage the chat box and the screen and everything, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But it's all in the booklet that you were sent a copy of. We have educational guidance for both K through 12, as well as for higher education. One of the benefits is if you're in the right age range, you can have a scholarship, receive a scholarship for higher education, either a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, but not both. For community guidance, if you're not sure where you want to settle, then we have a communities department. They also have community contacts that if you think you want to move someplace, but you really want to hear more about it, we have volunteers that live there and we can put you in touch with them. And they're divided up by religious level, age level. So like if you're a 20-year-old who wants to move someplace, you might not really want to discuss it with a, family of somebody who's got 5 kids or a retiree couple who, of course, will be lovely, but they're not having the same experience as a 21-year-old. So we can set you up with somebody that's more seeing things from the same through the same eyes. We have our Lone Soldiers program. We have an international medical Aliyah program. We are on all the socials. Nefesh B'Nefesh has a Facebook, LinkedIn, Telegram, Instagram. I think I got all the grams in there. Follow us. We send out emails. Did not mention, Miriam did mention the RCs, and she did mention the municipal coordinators who work for the different municipalities. For that list, you can find on our website. You can put in the NBN municipal coordinators. But in addition, we also send out emails. You'll get one after, I'm trying to remember, second month, after your 3rd month, after your 4th month, and then we skip to 6th month, 9th month, and then 11th month. And then when you hit your 12th month from Aliyah, you'll get an Aliyahversary email. So each of those emails give you information that's relevant for your timeline. So please, I know everyone gets a lot of garbage in their inbox, and sometimes you just ignore it all. But this, I ask you not to. It has important information about making sure that you're staying on task with everything you need to be taken care of. Take a look at it. You don't have to read it more than once. You can if you want to, but just take a look at it. Make sure you're not missing anything that you need to take care of. We try and not make it too wordy and try and get all the information in a way that you can read it easily. Again, always turn to us for questions. I just want to mention the Israel calendar. It's all kinds of events for English-speaking Olim. It's not just NBN things. Different organizations post their items. So that's the NBN Israel calendar. And I think that's about it. I'm going to stop sharing and see all of you. And are there any questions? Now I can open the chat box and see what I've been missing.
I put in one question in the chat, but you may not be able to see it. We're traveling from April 16th to May 7th, which is less than a month. Do we have to do anything before we leave?
Don't need to do anything, but I would recommend that when you leave Israel, instead of going to one of the, I got something in my eye. instead of going to the automated self-service machine, go to a human passport control officer, show him your or her your Teudat Zahut and your foreign passport, and make sure they're linked. This will make it easier for you when you return.
So we do it before we leave. We don't use the
Before you
machine.
leave. Yeah, don't use the machine when you leave.
Okay.
Go to a human, show them your Teudat Zahut and your passport.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's under 30 days, so it's not I know, but
No, that's separate. That's the showing them the passport is just so that you can get back in, because right
okay.
now you don't have you don't have a foreign passport. Sorry, you don't have an Israeli passport. So when you want to check in for your return trip, unless you still have a valid ITA IL, they'll ask you for proof that you're able to enter Israel.
So when we come back, which line do we go through?
You're
The
Israeli now, you
citizen
can
line?
you can still go through the Israeli citizen line, even though you don't have an Israeli passport. You still go through
So
the
we do the
line.
Israeli citizen line. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
So if
Okay.
we go away for 3 to 4 months,
Trying to.
should we hold off on signing up for?
You're not.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. If everyone else could just mute themselves because I hear background noise.
if
Sorry,
we
who's
leave the country for
speaking?
3 or 4 months,
Yes.
right? If we leave the country for 3 or 4 months, do we need to should we hold off on signing up for Bituach Leumi?
Well, when are you leaving, tomorrow or the next day?
Leaving leaving in May.
You're leaving in May
11th,
for 3 or 4 months?
till about just before Rosh Hashanah.
No, you should. I mean, you're not signing up for Bituach Leumi. You're going to get your health care. So you might as well sign up for it already now. However, you might well lose your residency in the 3 months that you're not in Israel, as we discussed. So, but if you need to see a doctor till then, it's advantageous for you to, sorry about that. It's advantageous for you to sign up so you still have your health care for right now.
Okay.
Okay. And before you leave, be in touch with us. About a week before you're leaving, be in touch with us and we'll help you notify Bituach Leumi. Okay.
I have a question about our Nona.
Mhm.
So I live with my boyfriend right now, and my name is on the lease, but I'm not the one like paying.
Not even
Am I like, I don't know, how does it work? Like, what I have to,
So your name is on the lease. Only your name is on the lease, or both your names are on the lease?
it's both of our names.
Okay, so you can, and the Arnona bill is only on his name?
Yeah.
Okay, so in order to get the benefit, you can, which city do you live in?
Haifa.
So you can go onto the Haifa municipality website to the Arnona area, and it's called switching owners, but you're
Okay.
not switching owners. It's switching ownership of the bill, basically. And you'll upload a copy of your lease, a copy of your Teudat Zahut, and that'll put your name on it with him. So your
Okay.
names will both be on it. If your names are both on the lease, then your names are supposed to both be on the bill. And then is he also an Ola?
No.
Okay. So then your discount will be on 50% of the square footage. So let's say your apartment's 100 square meters, you'll get a discount on 50 meters. That's like your half.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? Okay, thank you all so much for coming, and I apologize for keeping you all hour and a half. It was my pleasure to explain things to you. If you have any questions, remember to contact us either by phone or by email. And stay safe. Hope you get a sleepful night. Mazal tov. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Could I
Thank
just
you.
actually ask a question real quick? Sorry, I
Or if
was away
anyone
from the
else wants
screen.
to leave, you can go, and I will answer Sam.
My question, well, the first one is more about the benefits of the army. Since I did the army when I came to Israel, but only
Are
made
you
Aliyah
finished with the
after.
army now?
I just finished like the beginning of this month.
Okay. So
So
one
my
of the things you should do is reach out to our Lone Soldier program. Send them an
Okay.
email. It's LSP
LSP
LSPEN, EN is for English, LSPEN at nbn.org.il.
Got it.
Tell them that you just